43. Can you believe it? Introducing
Miska.
Okay, so we have a new doggy.
We do.
That's part of our lockdown experience. So last Friday, it's a whole week ago since we last vlogged. Last Friday, which was the first Friday or the first day that people were allowed to go out and have a walk. We saw on our neighborhood group a photo of a terrified looking dog. This is how she looked. And they said she had been found by the side of the road. It looked like she'd been out for maybe 2 or 3 days. She wasn't completely dehydrated or starving, but she was terrified, as you can see by the photo. And apparently it eventually took a group of like, how many people? 5 or 8 or something?
I'm not sure the exact
a whole
numbers,
group of people,
yeah,
to try and rescue this poor girl. And they finally did. They got her in a bakkie. They took her off to the vet to see if she was microchipped, which she wasn't. Anyway, long story short, on Monday, while I was editing last week's vlog, a message came through on the neighborhood group to say they finally coaxed her out of the garage where she'd been living, and they managed to give her a bath, and she's got a whole new lease on life. And this is how she looks, just suddenly like sprightly and spring in her step. So I showed Justin, and we both went, "Oh, can we have it?" It was like an immediate decision for both of us. It was quick and easy.
Yeah, let's get her.
Yeah. So I worked through this lovely lady called Tracy. She's been amazing. They said they'd called her Millie, but it was too similar to Molly, the kids' dog. So Justin said, well, why don't we call her Miska? So we got her on Monday.
Thank you for allowing me to do the naming process.
Pleasure. So we got her on Monday, and I mean, she's lovely.
This is wonderful.
But it's been such a roller coaster of emotions this week because it's been difficult. She's clearly a dog. She wasn't abused. We both think she got lost because she's in good condition. Her teeth, her skin, she doesn't show signs of injury.
She understands home etiquette.
Yes, she
very
knows
well.
Off, down, sit, outside.
Come.
She's house trained. Yeah,
food time.
Yeah, she's beautifully behaved, and she's not. She doesn't cower. She's not scared if we, reprimand her.
Right under me right now, just snuggling me.
Yeah, she's daddy's girl. So we think, our theory is that she got lost. Somebody opened the gate and she somehow ran out and got lost. Or possibly through the lockdown period, people who've hit on hard times might have dumped her. I don't know. But she looks like she was loved.
Yeah.
So we have tried very hard to try and actually locate her owner because that seems to be the right thing to do. Anyway, so the reason it's been so tricky for us is because at first her and Lukey were not a great combination. She's much bigger than Lukey. I mean, Lukey's tiny.
She's a small girl, but she's a solid girl.
Oh, she's muscle. She's like Rocky. And Lukey, I mean, when all his hair's done and we wash him, we realize his head is about the size of a golf ball. He's a tiny little guy.
This is the size of his leg.
Yeah, there you go.
The top of his leg. Like
He's tiny, and she is a big girl, so a big, strong girl. So there were a few times where we had to separate them, where she was angry with him and she went for him. But it got to the point, when was it? Was it last night? Yesterday?
Yes.
Where we let the people know that this is not working, because it was such a tense situation, trying to keep the two doggies apart.
And her responses didn't really seem, although there were two that were clearly aggressive and we had to be very cautious, and that's kind of what set us on thinking maybe this won't work.
But because she's so much larger than him, even her snapping at him, saying "leave me alone," could kill him. So it got to the point yesterday where we just realized the stress of keeping these two apart. I mean, you can't live like that, having to keep your animals one in this room, one on the outside. It's not livable. So we concluded that we would have to return her
after a few
snot and trana. Yeah. So anyway, we decided that's what we were going to have to do. Tracy was thankfully very understanding because she also has Yorkies and has had rescue dogs. And then they said they were going to fetch her at about 3:00 this afternoon. But for us, we were both very, very sad about this, and we kind of felt that unless she was going to go to a home, then we didn't want to let her go. As difficult as this has been, we just kind of thought neither of us could bear the thought of her going into an institution. Because
she's not an aggressive.
No, she's lovely.
Dog. She's
great with people, and I think she's been an only dog. But anyway, so this afternoon they let us know that they were going to come fetch her, but they hadn't found a home for her. And the two of us just like fell apart and said, no. So Justin sent this lady a voice note and said, no, we will make this work. We will keep her. We can't bear the thought of her just going that route. So that's what we're doing. We're keeping her, and we'll just have to keep a watch and make sure that things work out between the two of them. There is the understanding. Tracy was very kind to say.
You didn't mention that I immediately went out and bought half the veg shop.
So Justin immediately went and did it. Justin.
I was so excited.
Justin doesn't do things in half measures, ever. So he got her a beautiful doggy bed, 2 water bowls.
2 sides of the house.
Okay.
There's an outside.
One for inside and one for outside. A food bowl of the kind that's designed that she can't eat her food too fast. A collar and a leash and doggy treats and a 2-sided doggy brush and doggy food and a measuring cup for the doggy food.
And Lukey got...
Oh, you said Lukey got the cutest
I got Lukey something too.
little hoodie.
Security,
because he's on security.
So cute with it.
In fact, he has been. If she comes near me, he barks and goes,
and
Mama,
she
alone.
is protective of me. I was playing silly sausage, which is the sausage on a rope.
Yeah.
With Lukey earlier, and she saw this, and it was the first time you heard me shout like, Miska. I was worried then.
Yeah.
She came for him. She went down and came quite aggressively towards him, and I saw, ooh. And she obviously thought that this was an extension of me, that Lukey was biting. And I make plain noises like, oh, like I'm fighting with him. And she was like, I'm going to protect this man who's 20 times the size of this little Yorkie.
And Lukey protects me. So little Lukey protects me. It's very sweet.
Does, it's cute.
Anyway, so long story short, she is ours. And...
she's wonderful.
Like I said, this lady, Tracy, was so wonderful, and she understands the process. And if something happens in the next few days, well, either if they find the owner, but also if something happens and she actually bites Lukey, and we have to then say, no, this is not going to work, then they will take her back. But we're going to do our utmost to socialize them gently with boundaries and their own space and a lot of control and monitoring, but at the same time, not too much people intervention because they need to work this out themselves. So that's the story of Miska, and that's what we're doing. So that's definitely part of our lockdown experience.
It's been a very interesting few days, filled with emotions.
Sure.
I never thought that a little girl could creep into my heart
so quickly. I'll show you a photo of the first half an hour that they were together.
And I'm so glad that I can show her the love that she deserves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So there we go.
Bye, guys.
Okay, so the story doesn't end there. The next day, Saturday, was a very tense day with the 2 dogs. We had to keep them apart the whole day. Lukey wanted to play and she wanted none of it. She kept growling at him. And then one time while I was hanging the washing, I heard this growl and I looked down and she had her mouth over the back of Lukey's neck. I mean, Lukey's neck is this thin. And so I ran and screamed and she released him. But it was just a scary moment to realize that if maybe Lukey had wriggled at that moment, or if she had been feeling more aggressive, she could actually have killed him. Probably not intentionally, but he is much tinier than her. And I didn't want to have to be scared of my one dog killing my other dog. And then on Sunday, she went for me and tried to bite me. And we just realized that this was not working. You can't save one dog at the expense of the other dog. And Lukey is our baby. And obviously this was a very difficult decision for us because by then we loved her already. But it just was not a workable solution. And we both kind of came to that conclusion at the same time. So we phoned Tracy and she came and fetched Miska on Sunday afternoon. We were very, very broken up about this. We cried buckets of tears. Neither of us slept on Sunday night. Monday through the day, everything that reminded us of her made us cry. Anyway, so we kept in touch with Tracy to see how Miska was doing. And then this morning she sent me a message to say that 2 people had shown an interest in taking her, and they'd done home visits and chosen the best home for her. And tomorrow she's going to go to that home. So we feel so much better now knowing that she's not in a kennel. She's going to a home tomorrow to people who are going to love her and look after her. Hopefully a home with, where she can be an only child. And then she'll be wonderful. So, you know, we've loved and we've lost, but we've also learnt, and we tried our best. We did what we thought was the best thing for her at the time, which it turns out it wasn't for her or for us. But now she's found a forever home, and so the story has a happy ending for her, and that's what it was about. Okay, bye.